Have you ever wondered what if the Nazis won World War II? Picture this. It's 1945, and instead of celebrating Valentine's Day, the world is under the iron grip of Nazi Germany. No, this isn't a nightmare. Okay, maybe it is. But today, we're diving into the ultimate what-if scenario. Buckle up, because this alternate reality is wild, chilling, and surprisingly a little funny. Now, in our timeline, the Allies pulled off an epic comeback, defeating the Axis powers after years of grueling battles. But what if key moments like the Battle of Stalingrad or D-Day had swung in Hitler's favor? Let's rewind and see how this twisted version of history could have unfolded. Take the Battle of Stalingrad, for example. In reality, the Soviet Union held firm, turning the tide of the war. But what if they hadn't? If the Germans had captured Stalingrad, they'd have access to the oil fields of the Caucasus, fueling their war machine even longer. Or imagine if D-Day had been a disaster, leaving the Allies without a foothold in Europe. These what-ifs could have changed everything. Fast forward to 1945, Hitler's regime has conquered Europe and the Axis powers are celebrating victory. The Holocaust, already a dark stain on history, might have expanded beyond Europe, targeting even more groups. But let's lighten things up. After all, this is Reality Reimagined. On the bright side, maybe German efficiency would have made trains run on time everywhere, even in France. Imagine that. Punctual trains, but with swastikas on the stations. Now let's zoom out to the global stage. In this alternate reality, the United States wouldn't be the land of the free. Instead, it might be divided, just like in The Man in the High Castle. The East Coast could be under Nazi control, with German architecture and statues of Hitler replacing Lincoln. Meanwhile, the West Coast might be ruled by Imperial Japan, where sushi is the national dish, and samurai culture is the norm. Times Square, more like Zeitplatz, with German signs and strict curfews. Speaking of culture, entertainment would be very different. No more Hollywood blockbusters, just endless propaganda films glorifying the Reich. Imagine Gone with the Wind, but with Hitler as the hero, and music, forget rock and roll. It'd be all about marching bands and hymns to the Führer. Though, to be fair, they might have accidentally created a hit musical, like Springtime for Hitler. Wait, that already exists in our world, ironically. Everyday life would be regimented with strict laws and constant surveillance, but hey, on the bright side, maybe everyone would be fit from mandatory exercise programs. Heil to the fittest, right? And food? Forget burgers and fries. It'd be all schnitzel and sauerkraut. Imagine McDonald's rebranded as McHitlers, serving up Big Führer sandwiches. Okay, maybe that's a stretch, but you get the idea. Now, let's talk tech. The Nazis were pioneers in rocketry, so maybe they'd have beaten the United States to the moon instead of Neil Armstrong saying, "One small step for man," we'd hear "Ein kleiner Schritt für den Mann," with the swastika flag planted on the lunar surface. Space exploration would be all about conquering new frontiers for the Reich. And who knows, maybe they'd have invented something like the internet, but only for spreading propaganda. Google would be gobbles, and every search would start with a Hitler quote. But where there's oppression, there's resistance. Underground movements would form, using secret codes in music or art to communicate. It'd be like a real-life Hunger Games, but with more lederhosen and less Katniss. These rebels might even use jazz clubs as their headquarters, plotting against the regime while sipping bootleg whiskey. Because, let's face it, even in a Nazi world, people need their jazz. But here's the thing, even in this grim alternate reality, there's a silver lining. History shows us that oppressive regimes often collapse under their own weight. The Nazis' obsession with control and their economic policies might have led to their downfall anyway. So while this what-if is chilling, it's also a reminder of how fragile democracy can be and why we should never take our freedoms for granted. This alternate history is a wild ride, but it's also a chance to appreciate the real-world heroes who fought against tyranny. From Churchill's defiance to the Soviet resilience at Stalingrad, their courage shaped our world. So while we laugh at the absurdity of a Nazi victory, let's also remember the sacrifices that ensured it never happened. Thanks for watching Reality Reimagined. If you enjoyed this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon for more mind-bending what-if scenarios. Next time, we'll explore, what if the internet never existed? See you then.